Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Jackie. I hope you hit that subscribe button to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Hi friends, welcome to another reading vlog. So as promised in my Caraval series reading vlog, I would be vlogging my reaction, reviews, all that fun stuff for the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. So it is the spin-off of the Caraval series, I hear, and it has some characters from the Caraval series in these books. I'm not sure like how many or what. I know one character for sure. I don't know anything about the series. All I know is like the names of the characters, the two main characters, and it has like a magical element. It's like fairy tale like, and it's very reminiscent of the Caraval series. Of course, it's the same author, and it has like a character from that series. So I thought I would read it with you, and I hopefully will do a better job at documenting everything. So this might take longer to be put out, but I'm going to try my best and vlog my reaction, my thoughts, everything about this book series. So I have them right next to me. They are so pretty. So I have the Barnes & Noble exclusives. I bought the first two last year and I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know it was a part of the Caraval series. I had no clue. I just saw it was a pretty book on TikTok and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to Barnes & Noble tomorrow anyways, why don't I pick it up? So I did, and I put it on my bookshelf. They look so pretty on my bookshelf, and then they started getting more popular and I've seen more things about them, so I'm like, oh, I really need to pick that up. And then I was informed I had to read the Caraval series first, but it's also good, you don't have to, like, it just depends on you. But I'm glad that I read it, so I have like more background about this. So we have them right here. They're just so pretty. Since these are like pretty editions and the hardback, I do have them on Kindle. I have all three Kindle books as well, so I can go back and forth just like I did with the Caraval series. I'm gonna make this as spoiler free as possible. I will maybe have like a spoiler section at the end just like I did with the Caraval series. So if you want to check out that video, I'll link it down below, or I think it is right here somewhere on screen, so you can like check that out first before this one, or watch that one after this. I don't know. How far would you go for happily ever after? For as long as she can remember, Evangeline Fox has believed in true love and happy endings until she learns that the love of her life will marry another. Desperate to stop the wedding and to heal her wounded heart, Evangeline strikes a deal with the charismatic but wicked Prince of Hearts. In exchange for his help, he asks for 3 kisses to be given at the time and place of his choosing. But after Evangeline's first promised kiss, she learns that bargaining with an immortal is a dangerous game, and that the Prince of Hearts wants far more from her than she pledged. He has plans for Evangeline, plans that will either end in the greatest happily ever after or the most exquisite tragedy. I just love that. Everything about this sounds amazing. That's why I'm just so excited. Hopefully this becomes one of my favorite series. Like, it's starting to sound like it. I hope I'm not jinxing myself. So I already marked it on my Goodreads that we are starting this book, and I changed it over to this edition because it's prettier and I wanted it to match. So I'm going to be like taking off the dust jacket for like this reading portion. So, oh, I forgot that it actually has like something underneath, and these books are just so pretty. That's why I bought them in the first place. Look at that. Oh, that is so pretty. So it says Recipes of the Ancient North, translated for the first time in 500 years. And the pretty inside dedication says, for anyone who has ever made a bad decision because of a broken heart. So I haven't made a bad decision with a broken heart from love, but from something else. So yeah, I probably have. Oh, that is so pretty. Look at the map. That's so pretty. Do I have to like censor the mermaids? Why do the mermaids remind me of Harry Styles' tattoo? Why can I relate everything to something Harry Styles themed? Love that I'm like so intrigued by the map and then my mind goes there. Okay. But that is so pretty. We have the Fortuna Castle, Wolf Hall, the spires. Oh, this is gonna be so fun. I loved like the magical and like the world of Caraval, so I think I'm gonna like this one. And now we're moving on to part 1, The Tale of Evangeline Fox. Turn the page and we're on chapter 1, The Whisper Gazette, Where Will the Brokenhearted Pray Now? By Cutlass Nightlinger. Again, these names, so hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. The door to the Prince of Hearts Church has disappeared, painted the deep blood red of broken hearts. The ironic entry simply vanished from one of the temple's district's most visited churches sometime during the night, leaving behind an impenetrable marble wall. It's now impossible for anyone to enter the church. I love that I unironically wore hearts for this. So I know it's almost Christmas time and I've been decorating my Christmas tree. But like for some reason I pulled out my like heart sweater. Is it a sign? Maybe it was that I was meant to read Once Upon a Broken Heart, but they're full hearts, they're not broken. This line, all stories are made of both truth and lies, she used to say. What matters is the way that we believe in them. I love that. As you know, my username is fashionxfairytale, so like this is just perfect for me. I love that. So let's continue on. I have to like, I don't know if I'm going to annotate it or highlight it on my Kindle yet, but that is such a good line. I love that. Honestly, the writing in this is so good. I love it so much. Just like how Stephanie Garber like portrays everything. Like sometimes it's hard for me to imagine things, but depending on the writer, sometimes I can like imagine it and I can like kind of see it, not really clearly, but like clearer than some other books that I read. So that is pretty good. She has rose gold hair. How fun. Another quote that is so pretty. I don't know if I can fix your broken heart, but you can take mine because it's already yours. Oh, this thing's gonna break me. This book already has the most prettiest quotes in it. I love that. That's so cool. End of chapter 2. I did not expect that. Amazing. Oh, this is dangerous. I feel like I'm going to spend the evening reading all night. Chapter 3. Oh, I remember in Caraval, one of the fates had that magic, that power, whatever you call it. So, at least they're still friends. I forgot which fate that was, but I remember reading about it in finale. I just read this quote from Jax and it's amazing. You don't want to do this. You don't want to be the hero. You want the happy ending. That's what you came to me. If you do this, that will never happen. Heroes don't get happy endings. They give them to other people. Is that what you really want? Cue Anti-Hero by Taylor Swift. Why did I say anti like that? Anti-hero. Now I don't know how to speak. So good. Oh, the quotes in this. I seen some quotes like on like Bookstagram, on Book Talk, but like reading them for yourself, like I'm hoping by like reading these quotes I'm convincing you to pick up this book, because this is just like gorgeous writing. Like I love this already. And I reached chapter 5 and now I'm on chapter 6. So do I stop reading? This is what gets me. Like, I start these reading vlogs and I'm like, I need to do something else, but I want to read. So I don't know. What time is it? It's only 7:30 at night, which I usually eat dinner around like 9:30. You know what? I'm going to read some more. Who cares? It is my reading vlog. It is my thing. I am going to read until 8 o'clock now, and then I'll see where I get up to, and if I see any more like very good quotes, I'll tell you them. We recently made a grand return, but that's not what the story is about. Yeah, it was about the other book. Evangelina said, I have no desire to see Jax ever again. I know that's not going to happen. Oh yeah, I forgot who has the crown. Another fun quote, I already feel as if the horror I went through is turning into a fairy tale, but I'm nothing special and this is not a fairy tale. Is it now? Okay. Talk about not getting me. Talk about bad signs to your wedding. I love like the newspaper clippings in this one. This is so fun. The other one had letters, like the Caraval series had letters. This one has like magazine clippings, newspaper clippings, and like the journalist in me loves that. Like I have a media degree and like I just love little details like that, so that's fun. The only thing I don't like about newspapers is like the twisting of the words. So in my journalism class we were taught never to do that, and even though like it would be good to get clicks to twist the story, we should have ethics not to. So I don't understand how some things can get like out of proportion and like they twist things so much, because I hate that they do that. When I was taught not to do that, not to do like these clickbait articles, like you should have a fun twist on things but never deceive anyone. So yeah, that newspaper article isn't good in my books. That is a bad journalist right there. But besides the point, loving it so far. So I'm gonna keep going now. I think this is just gonna turn into a compilation of me just quoting the book. I believe there are far more possibilities than happily ever after or tragedy. Every story has the potential for infinite endings. I'm just gonna compile like all the quotes at the end and like that's what it seems like. But this writing, I love it. It's so pretty. Oh, that letter made me so happy. See, that would have made me happy if I didn't read the Caraval series first. So I get why you read it first. This book is taking place a little bit towards like the end of finale, so like they're interconnected within each other a teeny bit, so it makes sense. So it gave you the information. I probably would have been okay reading this, but it doesn't have the thrill of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, since I read the Caraval trilogy, I like understand like what's going on in it because I read it in there. Plus I read it a few weeks ago too, so yeah. But I love that. I forgot all about that and it just clicked in my head like, oh yeah, that happened in that book. I love that they make an appearance though in this book. I've missed the gowns. I miss Tella. I'm now on chapter 10, so page 75. So I'm going to quit for now, do my thing, and then I'm definitely coming back to this though. I really want to read more and I don't have a bookmark. What am I going to use as a bookmark? Should I use my Kindle as a bookmark? Why did I not get a bookmark? They're all in the living room because that's what I've been reading. Oh no. So I'm gonna find a bookmark. There we go. There's chapter 10 and I might switch off to my Kindle and see you in the next clip. Hello, it's a little while later now. I finished all the things that I have to do. I decorated my whole apartment and it's looking so festive and fun, and I can't wait to share with you, so that will be in a separate video. So yeah, I'm just super excited, and like I used every single decoration I own, so that is great. So I am going to have dinner now. I have my book and my dinner beside me and I'm watching some YouTube videos and I'm having a very cozy evening. Here is my dinner. I'm having leftover mashed potatoes and corn. corn, and then I made some chicken, and then I have some buttered biscuits with my current read. Of course, you already know I'm reading Once Upon a Broken Heart. I have some YouTube vlogs. I'm watching Rachel Catherine. I need to catch up on her video, so I have that on the TV while I'm going to eat and maybe read a chapter. So that is my plan. So I finished chapter 11 while eating, and I just love it. Even like the travel days in this seem like they're not boring at all. They're really eventful, and it made me like think of my mom and how she would tell me stories of her like travels to Italy, to Canada, and it really makes me want to visit those places and to see that and like all her stories about what she did in those places. Like now that I'm older and now that she's gone, it like makes me want to like travel to those places and see the places that she told me through my adult eyes, if that makes sense. So I kind of relate to Evangeline, where everything's so new and like all the tales that she was told as a kid, like it's so nice, and I just love that. So gonna continue on to chapter 12 and see how much I read. I do have to edit, but I'm going to be cozy and just see how much I can read. So that's good. So I'll just be here reading as much as I can. I'll update you if anything like exciting happens, or if I find another quote that is worth mentioning in the vlog. So far, I just love the book, and it like the everything about it. Look what I just read. There are tiny dragons in this book, and you know how I feel about dragons. I love Fourth Wing. I love the dragons in that. I mean, this isn't like the main component, but I thought that was cool that there was like a mention of dragons in this book. So another update. I am on chapter 13, 100 pages in, and honestly, I just like the book. I'm going to keep reading. There's not much to like give. It's starting. Things are going to start to happen, I feel like. I found another quote. So this one is quite long, so let me see if I can get it out. I thought if you came with me, you might find your confidence again, and possibly a fresh start at Nocti Never Ending. Is that how you say the ball? I think that's what it is. Nocti Never Ending isn't just a ball. It's a chance at stepping into a fairy tale, at changing the course of your life and finding opportunities that some people search their whole lives for. This is a night to reinvent who you are, to dazzle everyone you see, and prove to anyone foolish enough to believe the gossip pages that you're not so jealous of me. You've set up a magical plan to turn me back to stone. The first part of that, like, you go to a new place to like reinvent yourself. You're stepping out of your comfort zone. And I just thought, you know what? Sometimes you do need that. You need just a boost of, I'm always so scared and timid of something, but I would need advice like that. Like, just step out of it. You never know, you might enter a fairy tale. So I thought that was a good quote. So, yep. I don't even know what chapter I'm on. Honestly, I've just been reading. That is chapter 17. I thought we would face this direction instead, because look at how pretty I put this like YouTube video on in the background that has like cackling fireplace and like snow falling, and it's very great like ambient while reading. I'd give the world if I could, the moon, the stars, and all the suns in the universe, anything for you, my heart. If a guy said that to me, I don't know what I would do, but I love it. Of course, I know like Jax is back there and stuff, but like, let me fall for Apollo. I know I'm gonna regret it. I know that, but like, can I have him? So I'm really enjoying this. This is like these are like little tiny chapters, so I'm on chapter 25 technically. So I'm hoping that I can finish part 2 and get to chapter 36. I thought I wasn't, but the chapters are fairly short, which I like. Chapter 28 was a rather exciting chapter, so we're getting there. We're getting into the thick of things, and like things are happening finally. So before it was just like setting it up, but now we're really getting to know what is going on, which I like finally. So I have a few quotes from Jax that I thought I would read because they were quite good. So let's begin. This way it's a lot darker because I don't have the light. So let's see if I can read these. Do I have to remind you how desperate a broken heart makes you? How it hurts so much that it compelled you to make a deal with the devil like me. Do you really want to call off your wedding and leave Apollo like that, forever in love with someone who will never feel the same way? It wasn't that long ago that I saw you in my church, willing to promise me almost anything to make the pain stop. Or have you already forgotten the way heartbreak rips the soul piece by piece, how it turns you into a masochist, making you long for the thing you eviscerated you until there's nothing left of you to be destroyed? Like these quotes, like, why are they so good? Like, I can't get over that. Like, heartbreak just consumes you, that you are willing to do anything, make a deal with the devil like himself. So good. I love this book. So many good quotes. No. I don't know if it's really me or that's just what I'm reading out loud, but no. Well, I'm on chapter 36, which is the last chapter, the last chapter in part 2. So let's read it, shall we? Pretend. And we're now on part 3, Chaos. There we have it. That is it for today's reading portion. I love this book. It's just so good, and everything is going down, and I know I'm more than 50%. I'll have to see on my Goodreads how much that I read, but I left off on page 257. So the last time I checked it, I was 49%. So I'm halfway through the book, and so far so good. Hopefully I didn't spoil anything. If not, I would take out these spoilers and add it to the spoiler section at the end. But yeah, that is it for today. I'll just see you tomorrow for some more reading. Hello, it's update time. So I read a little bit this morning before I got ready. So before I started my day, I read from chapter 37 to 45, I believe. So I read that many chapters, however many that is. I'm not going to do the math, but I just read here on my bed this afternoon, just starting my day off, just having a very cozy one, just still in my pajamas, hanging out in bed, reading. So I did that. It's been pretty good. I've been enjoying the plot. Things are happening now, and with Jax and Evangeline, and I'm really enjoying both the characters and everything about it. So I stopped at 45. I had to get my day going, so got all ready, did all that, did what I had to do, and then in between, before dinner, I read chapters 45 to 50. So now I'm on chapter 50, and I looked, and I think we have 54 chapters total in this book. So I thought, since it's the end of the evening, I thought we'd read the last 4 chapters together, wrap it up, and then jump into the second book. So that is what we're going to do. I'm filming a whole different video, so that's why I look like this. So you get more behind the scenes of what I'm doing, of stuff for Vlogmas this month, but also a reading vlog, if that makes sense. So yeah, I have all my lighting here in my room. That's why I'm so yellow. I have lights in front of me, lights beside me, and then lights behind me. So it's very atmospheric and the perfect vibes for reading. So I have the hardback and my Kindle. I don't know if I can see the book because I don't want to turn on any of the lights. So no, I can see. So we'll be reading the hardback. So we'll start on 50 and then wrap it up so we can start book number 2. So let's do that, shall we? So I liked the mystery of it all. I've always suspected you know who. I'm not going to say, but I've always suspected them. and stuff. So I don't know if I'm correct. I don't know if I'm gonna get fooled again by this, but like in my head, I'm like, they're the bad guy. They're the ones doing all of this. They're the ones causing Evangeline pain. So I don't know if there's going to be like a plot twist and it's not going to be who I think it is, but in my head, like I'm like, they did it. So hopefully I'm not making it too obvious. I'm using like they, them, and like that. But ever since the beginning, I've like suspected this person of being bad and not a good person. And I love that it's like you're figuring things out. So that's why I love this story so much. You have the romance of it all. I mean, it's not very romance heavy, this book. It's more like the fairy tale world. And I really wish there was more romance. But I'm still enjoying everything about this. And yeah, so this person is on my bad list. So let me see if they're going to change my mind or I'm going to be like, yes, I told myself, I knew it. So let me continue reading that. This plot twist. Still don't like the person. And it proved me a little bit. A teeny bit. I don't like. Now I'm on chapter 51. Getting good. And I don't like this other person either. The bad guys in this book are very bad. I don't like them. I'm not rooting for these villains. Sometimes I like rooting for the villains, but these villains, no. I found another quote. So the first part is a spoiler, so I'm just going to read the end. That's not spoilery whatsoever. I was the person with nothing to gain and everything to lose. I love that. Oh, so good. Honestly, I had a little inkling that it might be the person, but I was too focused on the other person that I dislike, so I was rooting for them to be the one who did it. I mean, some people probably thought it was obvious, but I was still rooting for it to be that person. Everything is non-stop. I am now on 53, and everything is getting so good. This is... Oh, I love the mystery aspect of like finding out what's going to happen. Wait, really? Oh, didn't expect that to happen. I was really thinking that wasn't. Wow, plot twist. Okay, that totally got me. Sometimes I'm like, that's not really a big plot twist. Okay, that one I was expecting. I was not expecting that. I love that. I love when that happens, when you're not expecting something. Oh, I love fairy tales and I love when this happens. Is that gonna is that going to do it? Okay, this is so good. I'm on the last chapter, chapter 54. And is it just a paragraph? It's only a paragraph. Ugh. And that is it. Good thing I have the second book because I wouldn't know what to do with myself. So there, the acknowledgements and yeah. Ooh, there is an epilogue though. Okay, wait. Oh, it's the behind the scenes and then an epilogue. So it has an epilogue, but it's like a redacted. That seems so cool. I didn't know that. And you can actually see like there's like black things to it. Like, can you see that? It's actually like a like redacted document. That is so fancy. I love that. So let me read it to see what it's about. There's a newspaper article at the end with an interview with Jax. And then there's a newspaper article at the end with like more behind the scenes kind of things. And that is it. That is Once Upon a Broken Heart. finished it. Let me turn on the light now. We can get situated. I'll give my final thoughts, reviews, and stuff before we start the Ballad of Never After. So let's go do that. Hello, we are back in my background now, and the last time you saw this, it didn't have any Christmas decorations. It does now. Put up some Christmas decorations. I'm in my Christmas pajama. It's almost Christmas time, so I thought I would take advantage. And I know this isn't like a Christmas book series, but I happen to read it during this time of year, so yeah, you get to enjoy it and be like magical around me and be magical in the book, if that makes sense. I'm here to wrap up my thoughts about Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. This book, I enjoyed it so much. This book series is gonna be one of my favorites. I have a feeling it is. So I just logged it on my Goodreads and I gave it 5 stars. It deserved its 5-star rating. I'm not sure what was missing in Caraval for me to give it a 4.5, but this for some reason deserved the 5 stars. Like, I just read it, but I can't stop thinking about it. I really wish I can give you like a summary and tell you all about it, but I'm trying to make this spoiler free. So to sum it up, Evangeline Fox is heartbroken and she goes to the Prince of Hearts, which is Jax from the Caraval series. He is a fate and she makes a deal. The deal is he makes her have 3 kisses. So he is the one who chooses when she's going to kiss, all that fun stuff. And then it turns into like another story, and then there's mystery, and like this book is so good. So you follow Evangeline Fox and through her journey through love, heartbreak again. It's so good. I loved this. I love the character. I love that she has rose gold hair. Like, I really want rose gold pink hair. I've always dreamed of that, but I don't think I would ever like take the step. Like, hair that's this color. This would be fun. Maybe like highlights in the future. I don't know. But just everything, the way Stephanie Garber like writes, I'm such a fan. I love it. Like, you saw me like do so many different quotes in this book. This book had so many good quotes. We're going to pick up the second book, which is the Ballad of Never After, and it's gonna continue, hopefully. I'm going to switch off from this one to this one. Again, I have the Kindle version, so I'm going to read on my Kindle as well as the hardback. Let me get going and let's start the Ballad of Never After, shall we? Here we go. Again, so pretty. Love these editions. So I am going to start off my Goodreads. I'm going to mark it as currently reading, and I picked the purple edition as well. And before we get into that, let's read the synopsis of this one. Not every love is meant to be. After Jax, the Prince of Hearts, betrays her, Evangeline Fox swears she'll never trust him again. Now that she's discovered her own magic, Evangeline believes she can use it to restore the chance at the happily ever after that Jax stole away. But when a terrifying new curse is revealed, Evangeline finds herself entering a tenuous partnership with the Prince of Hearts again. Only this time, the rules have changed. Jax isn't the only force Evangeline needs to be wary of. In fact, he might be the only one she can trust, despite her desire to despise him. Instead of a love spell wreaking havoc on Evangeline's life, a murderous spell has been cast. To break it, Evangeline and Jax will have to battle with old friends, new foes, and a magic that plays with heads and hearts. Evangeline has always trusted her heart, but this time she's not sure she can. So magical, so fun. So I looked at my Goodreads and I glimpsed at the ratings, and every single one was 5 stars, especially like from the people I follow. So I heard this is everyone's like favorite book ever in the series. Like, nothing lives up to this, and I heard it ends on such a bad cliffhanger. That's why I didn't want to pick up this book when I bought it last year, because I heard it just destroys you. So I don't get that fun of knowing it's gonna get on a cliff, and I don't know what happens, but I know there's a cliffhanger that really like destroys people. That's what I heard. So they had to wait a year for the third book, A Curse for True Love. So I'm not gonna go through that pain, thankfully. But sometimes, like, I'm sad that I missed out on that. Like, right now I'm reading Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, and that destroyed me. So I'm waiting on that book series to finish, so I have that to look forward to. I missed out on it with this series, but I'm doing it with another series, if that makes sense. I don't know much about this book, only like the summary and that it ends on a cliffhanger, and that's it. So we're going to hop right in. I'm going to take the dust jacket off and we can explore this book. This one says, The Rise and Fall of the Valors, beloved first royal family of the magnificent North. And again, these books are just so pretty. So it's like rose gold on the inside, and like the foiling of it's so nice. And then let's open up the first page. Oh, I forgot it's signed. This is one of like my first signed books, and I wasn't even a fan back then, but now like this is truly special. So the pages are really thick. So now to read the dedication for the second book. For anyone who has ever feared they won't find true love. Really pretty. The Ballad of Never After, also by Stephanie Garber. So we have the Caraval trilogy, and then Once Upon a Broken Heart. The title page, and then the map, my favorite. I love the map. So An Unforgettable Journey, the Magnificent North. So to Valorfell, Marywood Village, Marywood Forest, Marywood Manor, The Hollow, Slaughterwood Castle. Oh, that doesn't sound fun. Inn for Travelers and Adventurers. So we have Marywood on one side and then The Hollow on the other. That is such a beautiful map. I love the map. Whoever did it, bravo to you. So The Ballad of Never After, Words of Warning, and then we have a letter. Dear Evangeline, eventually you will see him again, and when you do, do not be fooled by him. Do not be tricked by his charming dimples, his unearthly blue eyes, or the way your stomach might tumble when he calls you little fox. It's not a term of endearment, it's another form of manipulation. Jack's heart might beat, but it does not feel. If you are tempted to trust him again, remember all that he's done. I was reading that, and then you have spoilers in it, so I couldn't continue reading it out loud, but I could continue reading it myself. Let me just continue reading this, and then I'll get back to you so we can start chapter 1 or part 1, and I'll hopefully look through the things. I'm gonna look on my Kindle so I don't get spoiled, because it just tells you the subcategories. Unlike flipping through this book, I might run into something that I'm not supposed to see, and I don't want to spoil myself. So let me finish reading the warning, and then we'll start part 1 together and see where we'll go from there. I had to read this quote out loud though. She believed that people could change. She believed that everyone's life was like a story with an ending that was not yet written, and therefore everyone's future held infinite possibilities. The quotes in this, or I haven't even started, but the quotes in the series as a whole, like, amazing. I do really need to do like a compilation of my favorite quotes in this book. So I just brought up my Kindle, and it looks like part 1 goes from chapter 1 all the way to chapter 21. Part 2 begins with chapter 22. Wow, that makes sense. So there we go. At least I know. And I looked towards the end, and I just saw what chapter it ends on. This goes up to 46, so chapter 46 is the last one, and there's an epilogue. So yeah, I like looking at those to see how I can like break up the chapters, because I usually like reading 5 chapters at a time. That's what I usually do, how I break things up. So I'd like to see like the chapters before I like get into a book. I don't know, but I don't like flipping through the book because I accidentally spoil myself. So this way I can just like see where the page numbers and everything are at. So that is great. So we have that now, and it's almost dinner time for me, so I don't know what to do again. Should I like continue reading and then like eat dinner and then like give up for the night? This is always my dilemma in these reading vlogs because I always time it like an hour or so before dinner because that's when I have time again. So let's read until chapter 5 and then we'll have dinner and then we'll see where this reading vlog takes us. That's my plan. We should do that. Let's start off chapter 1. There is a door deep inside the Royal Library of Wolf Hall that no one has opened for centuries. That's all I'm giving you. Let me continue myself. Lala. I love the name Lala too. It's so fun. Lala. Love that she's a friend. Love that. I'm on chapter 4, so it's the last one that I'm gonna read right now, and then we'll start it back up. So yay, let's read it together. They lived happily ever after. Most characters she believed deserved it after all they've been through. No. I'm kind of like Evangeline. Like, I believe that there's always the happily ever after, that fairy tales do exist, all that fun stuff. Like, I'm a dreamer, I'm a believer. I feel like everything should end happy, and like you have a conflict, but then again it resolves. Like, I have that mindset like Evangeline. I feel like I believe that fairy tales like do exist sometimes. I don't know if I really do in real life. I know in stories, movies, TV shows, everything, but I don't know if it like truly exists in real life. I don't know. I like have this hope that it is, but sometimes I'm also a realist where I believe nothing is ever going to go right and stuff like that. Sometimes I am the most negative person. If something goes wrong, I'll be so negative about it. So I'm not sure. Like, I want to believe that I am a dreamer, believer, all that, but then again I'm like, I'm such a negative person. When something goes wrong, I'll just be the most negative person about it. So I don't think that's how me and Evangeline like think. She has like everything she really truly believes. I like, there is like a percentage in me that doesn't, if that makes sense. Here's a fun quote in this book. I think there's a happy ending for everyone, but I don't think these endings always follow the last page of a book, or that everyone is guaranteed to find their happily ever after. Happy endings can be caught, but they are difficult to hold on to. They are dreams that want to escape the night. They are treasures with wings. They are wild, feral, reckless things that need to be constantly chased, or they will certainly run away. So that is kind of what I'm saying. Like that. I want to believe, but sometimes it's not meant to be. If I think that right there is like better than what I was trying to say. So again, amazing quote. I love that. Why does the chapter that I always want to leave off on, it always like ends on a cliffhanger and I want to keep reading, but I have to stop for now because I'm getting hungry. So I'll go eat some dinner. So chapter 5, that was this section of the reading vlog. I'll catch you later with more of an update, some quotes, my thoughts, some reactions, all that fun stuff. I actually finished dinner so we can read uninterrupted for once. I can like sit and read until my heart desire. So I'm gonna start on chapter 5 now and then we'll see where we get to. I think they're having a party right next door, so if you hear anything, I think they're like partying it up right behind me because there's an apartment right like behind my bedroom wall. Ending of chapter 5, I kind of guessed it. I mean, it was kind of obvious there, so if you didn't catch what it was, I'm like the name and everything. So I was correct. I guessed that. That wasn't a plot twist for me. So now chapter 6. So I'm on chapter 10 and things are going down. Things are becoming like spooky. I feel like it's becoming a spooky book and it's like Christmas time and I should be reading spookiness, but I'm enjoying it. So I'm on chapter 12. I am 100 pages in and I really like it. It's getting there. For a second there, I forgot that it doesn't happen if you don't do the thing. I was like, oh no, that's it. It's over with. She's going to... That's a spoiler if I say it, but she's going to, you know, if you've read the book, and like, I forgot that you can like get out of it. There's a loophole. I love Jack's character so much, like his wit, the sarcasm, everything. All of his lines are so quotable. I think I'm on chapter 20, so one more until we reach part 2, and then I'm gonna call it an evening, and then hopefully tomorrow I'll read all of part 2, and then the next day read the whole entire book, the rest of it. So that is my plan, I think. I'm on chapter 21 now. Let's read it. And it's probably going to end in a cliffhanger, isn't it? And then I'm going to want to read more, but I'm getting sleepy and it's already, what time is it? It is 1:35 in the morning, and yes, I'm listening to Louis Tomlinson again. It is my number one, I think, album this year on my Spotify Wrapped. I had no idea that was happening. I thought it was something else, but it is. Besides the point, I'm going to continue reading chapter 21. I'm going to continue reading chapter 21. Part 2, and then I'm going to turn the page, and it's chapter 22. I love that the chapters in this book are like the perfect length. They're not too long, they're not too short. I love the length of the chapters. So that is it for my reading of the day. I'm really tired now. I'm gonna try and go to sleep early, but I really enjoyed reading with you today. So apparently I'm looking on my Kindle and part 2 goes all the way to chapter 40, which is great, and then part 3 starts on chapter 41. Am I gonna remember that tomorrow? Who knows? But that is it for the evening. I'll see you tomorrow for more reading. It's been a few days, but we are going to continue the Ballad of Never After. So I just started reading chapter 22, and I just love this line so much. It made me laugh so much. No, Jax, you can't go around murdering people because they're a problem. That made me laugh out loud so much. I even had to highlight it on my Kindle. So yes, we're going to continue reading. I have an hour before I have to cook dinner, so I'm just going to see where it takes me, and then I just have to put my dinner in the oven and I can still continue to read. So we'll be doing that. I love that Evangeline is trying to make Jax not kill anyone for fun, and then he goes on to tell her that, do you want me to kill the people who are gossiping about you? Get yourself a man who will do anything, even kill someone for you. I mean, this is a fairy tale. I don't condone it in real life, but in books, why not? Every time I leave this girl alone, someone tries to kill her. I love Jack so much. This was a fun surprise. So back in February, I had an orchid plant and one of the flowers fell off, and I decided to press it in a book, and I forgot that it was in here, and it's dried now since it's December. So that is fun. Unfortunately, I couldn't read the page, so I had to read it on my Kindle, but that was such a cute little detail. I forgot I had put the flower in here to be pressed. So I'm now on chapter 30. It's getting exciting again. Oh, this book just makes my heart so happy. So when I just read this line right here, all I could hear was Taylor singing Blood-Soaked Gown. So I'm forming theories in my head of what's going on. I wish I can tell you, like, the things are working. What is it? The gears are turning in my head, finding out like what's going on and what's like happening. I'm trying to guess things. I don't know if I'm correct. I'll tell you if I am. I won't tell you what I'm thinking, but I'll tell you if like I'm getting close. Yes, I got it correct. I did guess it. Okay, I'm getting good at this, like discovering mysteries and putting clues together. So I was correct with my theory, so that's good. So now I'm on chapter 40. It is the last chapter before part 3 and then the ending of the book. I'm getting so close. But why does this feel like a Marvel movie? Like they're collecting the Infinity Stones. It's been a while since I watched that Marvel movie, and I don't really understand that Marvel movie. I just watched it with my cousin. But like that's what I feel like is going on in this book. I'm not complaining though. I'm really enjoying it. So I love that I'm connecting the dots and understanding it a lot more. So that is fun. So I'm going to read chapter 40, take a break. I have to cook dinner, but after I put that in the oven, then I can finish off the rest of this book. I'm back. I put my dinner in the oven to cook. So while we're waiting for that, we're going to read the last few chapters. So I'm on chapter 41. It goes until chapter 46. So I'm not sure, my casserole is supposed to be in the oven for 30 minutes and then I'd put additional like 20 minutes on it. So hopefully I can read in that amount of time so we can finish number 2 so we can go to book 3. Also, I would like to film my reaction to the last chapter and see where it ends off on. Here we go, chapter 41. I just wanted to say I love that there's dragons in this. They're not like prominent, but at least they're there. So yeah, I have a thing for dragons after reading Fourth Wing, and if a dragon pops up in any book now, I'm like, ah, dragons. It's getting exciting. See what I mean with the hot and cold? Hot and cold. This one I'm going to find out because I've been curious the whole time about this. Please tell me. Oh, so that's what they're for. Okay, okay, I got it now. Oh, another chance. Oh. No. Oh no. No. My heart is breaking. Oh. You, the Taylor Swift song. If I say it, it's a spoiler, but if you can figure it out from that. There's a lot of Taylor Swift songs. My heart hurts. I'm so sad now. I'm sad. And nothing much has happened yet. I'm only on chapter 44. But this is breaking my heart. No. Okay, I'm on chapter 45. Let's begin. I probably would do the same thing. Honestly, I would do the same thing. Like, thinking of what she's doing, I would do the same thing. Oh, that's so nice. I didn't see that coming. I didn't really guess that. The clues didn't add up in my head. Didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming. Now on to chapter 46. Let's go. Okay. And now we flip the page to the end. Okay, that is very pretty. Okay, what else is there? It doesn't have a chapter now. I don't know. Okay, let's read it. I had to cut the last segment out because it might have been a spoiler, but I understand it. It finally clicked in the end what was happening. So, I'm going to read again. This is breaking my heart. Oh, but I love it. I love this so much. It is so good, honestly. Like, I love the story, the writing, everything about this book. I see why so many people love it. This is really clever. I love this. I did not expect this to happen, and I'm truly loving it. Also, I found another flower that was pressed into my book. I love that. I think that since the flowers were purple, I put it because the book cover of this was purple, so I love that, but I need to read. I can't read this section because the flower got stuck to it, so I'll read it on my Kindle. I wish our story could have another ending. I don't want a different ending. I just want you to leave. No. Now I'm so upset. What am I supposed to do now? I'm kind of glad that I didn't read this last year. That would have broke me. if I didn't have the third book right in front of me. Well, it's time to read the epilogue. Break my heart even more. Why don't you, book? You know it's a good book when it like shatters you to pieces. Like, I feel this so much. I'm so sad. But it's so good, you know? Please read this book. Please. It is amazing. And that is the end. Now to the acknowledgements. Ooh, since this is a special edition, there's something special in the back. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, and I finished just in time. My dinner's ready. And that is it. That was The Ballad of Never After. I'm speechless. This book was amazing. The characters, the writing, the storyline, like the plot, everything about this. I have to give it a 5 stars. That was so good. I loved everything about it. Like, at the end, I'll give all my thoughts about each book, but I can see why this is a favorite. This was just so good, and I can't wait to start A Curse for True Love. But before I do that, I'm gonna go have dinner, and then we can start the third and final book together and see where this wraps up. But thoroughly, I enjoyed it. Like, you saw my reaction. The quotes in this, everything was just so good. Jax, Evangeline, I honestly, such a good book. So yeah, I'll catch you up in a minute with the third book. We can start that together. We are going to read A Curse for True Love. I just pulled it up on my Kindle, and then I have the book right here. So I just looked at the chapters on here, and I feel like it's 50 chapters in total, so 49 plus the epilogue. So I don't like looking through the book just in case I get spoiled with anything, but I haven't opened it up yet. The last time I opened it was when I bought it in October, and it's December, and I forget things, which is great, so I can like react to it again. All of mine are special editions, so let's read the synopsis for this. And I believe I remember reading it, but I wasn't spoiled when I first bought it in October. I'll link my vlog where I went to go buy this at Barnes & Noble, because that's a separate video that I did like 2 months ago now. So let me read the synopsis. 2 villains, 1 girl, and a deadly battle for happily ever after. Evangeline Fox ventured to the magnificent North in search of her happy ending, and it seems as if she finally has it. She's married to a handsome prince and lives in a legendary castle. I love that they say legendary there. If you read the Caraval series, you know. But Evangeline has no idea of the devastating price she's paid for this fairy tale. She doesn't know what she has lost, and her husband is determined to make sure she never finds out. But first he must kill Jax, the Prince of Hearts. Blood will be shed, hearts will be stolen, and true love will be put to the test in A Curse for True Love, the breathtaking conclusion to the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. Sounds magnificent. I can't wait. So when I first read that back in October, it didn't like pull at my heartstrings. Now that I've read the first 2 books, it gets me in the field. So let's take the dust jacket off. And oh, now I understand why it says The Ballad of the Archer and the Fox. So I remember reading that, I'm like, what? I thought this book was called A Curse for True Love, because the special editions have like different covers like the other 2. So yeah, this one's the darkest out of all of them. It's like a pretty maroon. So let's open it up. I just love these special editions. They're just so pretty, and I'm so glad I have them, but I'm totally getting the paperbacks after this. So A Curse for True Love. Okay, also by Stephanie Garber. All her books are adding up. And then the title page again. And the dedication this time says, for anyone who's ever hoped for a second chance. Aww, I hope that means something in this like book. So we have the map. Oh, I love the map so much. Ye Olde Brick Inn. Oh, I love those things when they say ye olde. I love them in fairy tales. We have the Cursed Forest, the Tree of Souls, the Hunt, Wolf Hall. Wolf Hall was the castle, I believe. Marywood Forest, the Phoenix Tree, Marywood Manor, Marywood Village. Once upon a time in the magnificent North, that's what it says. That's so pretty. So part 4, Happily Ever After. So we have chapter 1. I think it's in Evangeline's point of view. So it's still like third person, but her point of view, I'm not sure what you call that, but let's start this book off, shall we? So I always read the first sentence and then we go from there. Evangeline Fox always believed she'd find herself inside of a fairy tale one day. I think that too, but my fairy tale hasn't happened. I love reading these books when my username is fashionxfairytale. Ain't that like fun? That I should read more fairy tale books. So it makes sense that I have book content with my username. Before I was like, should I create another one? No, because we have fashion and then we have fairy tale, so it combines my two loves, which is great. Got a little sidetrack there, but I'm going to read chapter 1, and I'm not sure like if I'm going to read a lot tonight. I did finish the second book today, so I'm not sure if I'm going to like get through the whole thing. I might read until chapter 5. We'll go from there, because I still have to edit my Vlogmas video, do the thumbnail, all that fun stuff. So I've been sacrificing reading, which is really sad, but I'm enjoying Vlogmas. So yeah, we'll see where we get to. I'm gonna get cozy here in my room and we'll just read together. Let's go again with some quotes. I already found one that's so nice. Hoping and imagining and believing in magic had always been like breathing to Evangeline. This series and the quotes. It's complicated. When is it not complicated? Even in fairy tale worlds, there's complications, huh? I mean, yeah, but like relationship problems, even in fairy tales, have their complications. Who knew? Let's continue on. It's really, really good. And so far, I'm angry at one of the characters. When am I not angry at a character? It's my thing, isn't it? So let's get going. Let's see how much I can read tonight. I promise there is nothing more important to me than you. Can I find a man who could say that to me? Like, yes, please. Oh, I didn't know that we were going to get different point of views. I know at the top it says like Evangeline, but the first 2 books, it was just strictly her point of view. So I guess we're getting more point of views. Does that mean we get Mr. Prince of Hearts' point of view? I have no clue. We'll have to find out together. I just flipped through the pages, but I didn't see anything, but let's see. Okay, I made it to chapter 5. Chapter 4 was a teeny bit boring. I didn't care for that point of view. Are we gonna get more of that? Because I'm just here for 2 characters, honestly. So let's see what happens. But I feel like I'm just going to continue reading now, see where I get to. I am a bit sleepy. It's like 1 a.m. so going to keep going a little bit. It wasn't like a fairy tale. It was a fairy tale. It was her fairy tale. Once upon a time, a girl who believed in fairy tales stole the heart of a prince who had sworn to never love. I love that Evangeline is sticking up for herself and just doing whatever she can. She doesn't want to be put down just because she's a princess. She has rights. I believe in her. I love her. We do get the point of view. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm glad I didn't stop on chapter 10. So I'm gonna keep going now because I got to his point of view. Yay! So I read to page 200, which is chapter 25, which is halfway through the book, but I am really sleepy, so I'm going to give up for the night. But I didn't update because it was just getting so good, and I was just so engrossed into it, and I love that there's always a pull there between the characters, and it's so pretty and so beautiful writing. And yeah, I am going to head to bed now. Hopefully I can finish the last 50% tomorrow and be done with this book and this series. I can't believe it's almost over. I want to cherish it, but then again I'm like, I need to read it. So yeah, this is one of my top favorite series, I believe, this year. So yeah, I'm gonna head to bed now, and I'll see you tomorrow for another update. It is the next night. It is time to read the last half of the A Curse for True Love. I read the front and it said the ballad, so I was going to say the Ballad of Never After there. I left off on chapter 25, so I have chapter 25 to chapter 49, and I think the epilogue. So we are going to finish it today. I'm so excited. So I'm going to get to reading. Quote in chapter 26. That got me blushing. I love that quote. I really want to tell you the quote, but I feel like it will spoil it. I don't know if it's spoilery, but I just don't want to say anything. But like, the way it made me blush. My favorite trope is in here. My favorite trope. Okay. Now on to chapter 28. Good, good. I'm on chapter 30 now. Oh, it's so good. I love it. What is the point of having friends if they're not there to support your bad decisions? True, true. Now on chapter 35, page 292. So I'm getting through it. I have this much left. So what is that? I'm guessing around 75%. So going to continue it. Oh, it's such a good book and things are like happening. So really want to finish it. So I'm on chapter 40. That means that I have maybe 10 chapters left. So I don't want it to end, but then again I want to find out what happens. So I'm so conflicted, but honestly I'm going to finish it tonight. So let's get to reading. I'm getting to the good part. I'm very stressed about everything, but then again I'm giggling and kicking my feet at the same time. So I'm feeling all the emotions reading this, and this part just, it's like my heart is hurting. Can it just end there? Like, I know there's more chapters, but can it just end there? Because that's all I want. That's it. The end. Like, can it just do that? That's all I want. I'm scared to turn the next page. Okay. 41 though. Chapter 41. Yes. I knew it would happen. I know something else was coming, and it's coming, and I don't want it to come because could it have just ended there? I just wanted it to end there, and now there has to be this. I know the conflict, and I know it has to like end, but like I'm so stressed again. Okay, everything better. I need a happily ever after. Like, I need it. Oh, I need to turn the page again. Chapter 44. I don't like this point of view. Chapter 45, and it's the point of view that I like. Well, I don't know yet. I haven't read it yet, but hopefully it's a lot better than 44. I don't like. Okay. Good, Jax. Now we're on chapter 48, and I'm still stressed. I'm still trying to figure out. I hope it's okay. I hope it's okay. That's what you get. That is what you get. You deserve that. Okay. Chapter 49. I don't know how I feel about that, but wasn't expecting that. Kind of. I was a little bit. I wanted it to happen. Let's read the last chapter. Okay, now for the epilogue. No, I wanted to find out about that too. Wait, I don't get it either. No. That's it. That's it. No. I really wanted to know about that. I really did. Well, that is it. The acknowledgements, but there is an exclusive alternative ending with this edition, so going to read that. And that is the end of the bonus epilogue that came with this special edition of the book. So there we go. the end. I just finished A Curse for True Love. So I don't know how to feel right now. I'm sad, I'm happy. Mostly I'm gone from the world of like this, and I truly enjoyed being in the universe. It was so magical and everything, and all I hear about the series is the writing is so good and like you're in this fairy tale land. It is true. I'm definitely a believer. It is worth the hype. Everything about this series has been amazing. My thoughts on the third book. So I did like it. There were some parts where I'm like, you know, like I was a little iffy there, unlike the other two, but it's still really good. And I think, of course, I'm gonna give it a 5 stars. It truly was a 5-star book, a 5-star series. This is the first time I've ever given a series all 5 stars, making it a true 5-star series. Like some books, like I give like a 4, 4.5. It's never truly like a 5-star series, but I think this one truly is. So yeah, I loved it. I love Jax. He's my favorite character in this whole like thing. And whilst I was reading Caraval, I was already spoiled a little bit that Jax is a fun character. So yeah, I do love him in both the Caraval series and the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. And honestly, it was so good. I related to Evangeline a little bit too much. I know some people don't like her character. I liked her character. It was fine. I'm probably very similar to Evangeline. That's why I probably like her instead of dislike her. The plot of this was so good. Like, of course, the writing again, but like everything and how it like wrapped up nicely. I'm pretty satisfied with it. Like, it wasn't like anything that I was like, oh, I don't like this, but I did love how it took me on like twists and turns, and like I wasn't expecting all of this. So love this book. It probably wasn't my favorite out of the three. I don't know if I do have like a favorite because honestly I love them all pretty equally, so I don't think I can rank them. Honestly, sometimes I can rank things, but this is truly hard to rank. But let me put the dust jacket on this, and then maybe we should turn on my ring light, and then we can like conclude this reading vlog, because it's probably going to be an hour long, honestly. Okay, there you have it. That is my reading vlog for the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. This was such a long journey, but I enjoyed every minute of it. I hope you did too, from the beginning all the way to the happily ever after. Honestly, this series has my heart. Everything about it, it was just so good, so marvelous. I don't know how many times I'm going to edit out "this was so good, I love this" in this reading vlog, because honestly that is how I felt throughout the whole thing, from Once Upon a Broken Heart to the Ballad of Never After to A Curse for True Love. I just kept saying that because it's true. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I loved every single minute, second of like this series. So overall, it was a 5-star series. Like I said, 5-star, 5-star, 5-star. So good overall. A million stars. I am so glad I read this series. I am truly like such a fan. Stephanie Garber has become an author by author for me. I only had 2 or 3 before, but now she is added to the list. Whatever she puts out, I will be buying, I will be reading, I will be supporting, because this was just so good. Everything about this series, her writing, characters she develops, I can't wait to see like what she comes up with next. So my heart broke and I got put back together while reading this series. And I love that the first day that I started to read this, I was wearing hearts, and then today I actually am wearing a red heart on my top. I noticed that in the mirror earlier, and I'm like, that's such a coincidence that I wore like a heart sweatshirt in the beginning, and then in the end I'm not technically wearing hearts, but I do have a heart like to make a nod that this series and hearts, and I just love that. So I'm going to do a spoiler section now. So if you haven't read this series, you should not be watching this part because I'm going to like spoil a lot of things and just like give my rambly thoughts, because I know this is going to be a long reading vlog anyways. So if you want to just stay here listening to my rambly thoughts about the series with spoilers, then I'm going to do that. So if not, you can also follow me on Goodreads. I will link that as well. So if you want to keep up with all the books that I'm reading, like some reviews, it will spoil what I've been reading because I mark it in real time before the videos come out. But I do have a Goodreads, and all my other social medias are linked down below as well. There you have it. That was my very long Once Upon a Broken Heart series trilogy reading vlog of everything, reactions, reviews, ratings, all that fun stuff. After I get done with the spoiler section, it's just going to be my normal outro that I normally do. So if you're just going to leave now, then I appreciate you watching this far, and I hope you pick up this series because it's so worth it and I loved it so much, so I hope you do too. So I guess I'll just say bye for now and subscribe and all that fun stuff, because now we're going to go into the spoiler section. So yep, here's the warning. Spoilers all around. One last time, this has spoilers. So hi, if you're here, let's discuss all the books, shall we? I'm gonna just ramble out my different thoughts about like spoilery things that I didn't get to talk about in the beginning, and probably if there was a spoilery bit I cut out, and I might add that in at the end if I like think it's really like spoilery. So for now, let's talk about all three books. Okay, is this okay? We're back to chapter 44 now. What happened? I don't get it. Is this a misprint or is it like... No, it's actually chapter 44. Oh, I get it. I'm dumb. I was satisfied with that ending. I'm gonna start with the ending and then maybe go through like the different books, I guess. So the ending, I was satisfied with that. I honestly thought it wouldn't like be like a happily ever after, but I hope she did, and she did. It was a happily ever after, so I was really thrilled about that. I was stressed there for a minute about what was going on. Hated Apollo. I didn't care much for his point of view in the third book. I think that's what I was hearing about, that they didn't like a certain point of view. That's the only thing that I feel like was spoilery to me when I was like watching reviews about this like book. I didn't mean to, but sometimes they would come up and you can't really avoid them, but I didn't get like spoiled too much, which is great. I'm glad that I wasn't like bombarded with this and this happening. I love Jax as a character, everything about that, and the way he said things, like, oh, it just made my day sometimes. I'm like, yes, that's why I really want to annotate and go back and like highlight and underline everything that Jack said, because he is such a good character. I love him the way Stephanie Garber wrote him. I really wish he was real, but like he couldn't be real in the real world, if that makes sense. But I just, everything about it I loved. He's so good. I guess let me see, what are my thoughts about Once Upon a Broken Heart? I really liked this book. It was really good, everything about it. I really wish I wrote more notes about everything. Also, what happened to her stepsister? Like, did I just skip over that? Did I miss a thing? What happened? Did she go off back to their home, which is like Valanda? Was that what the land was called? I can't remember names and stuff. I don't even remember the name of the stepsister, honestly. Marisol, is that what her name was? Who knows? But this was so good, and everything about this book I really enjoyed, and I did love the Ballad of Never After too. It frustrated me at times. I wanted to like, I feel like I want to give more thoughts, but I'm like, what else is there to give? Like, I just wanted to spoil everything for you. It ends happily and it was so good. I loved seeing everything about like this place and this land, and I really wish I had more of the like special editions to find like the bonus epilogues, because in the end she wrote that she wrote different endings because like northern fairy tales have like different endings or cursed endings, or like they were cursed. So I love that about that. I want to see Evangeline and Jax together so much. I want to like know more about them. Can we just like read a book about like their everyday normal life? I just want to know and see them together one last time, please. So yeah, I don't know what else I want to say. If I missed anything, hopefully I didn't, but yeah, that is it for like my spoilery chat. It wasn't like too much. I just wanted to tell you the ending, honestly, because I just read the ending and I wanted like to discuss it. So please message me on Instagram. I'll link my bookstagram and my Instagram down below in the description, as well as like the books. And I'm just gonna wrap up my rambly thoughts here and conclude this reading vlog. So I'm just going to hold them up while I do my outro. I will link everything that I mentioned, of course, in the description. So there you go. That is it for today's video. I do hope you enjoyed watching. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye everyone!